From the studios of TLC Talk Radio, it's DT on our minds. I'm your girl, Tasha.
And I'm that fat girl, Dana.
Don't forget to follow us on our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. Check us out every day on TLCTalkRadio.com, 24/7 edutainment. Hey, friend.
Hey, friend.
How's it going?
It's going.
Listen, I'm excited. It is raining cats and dogs. I don't know if you saw the lake.
Yes, I did see the lake when I pulled up.
The property.
Yeah, which will be a skating rink in a couple of hours, actually.
Oh,
don't you think?
For that. Let me go out there and throw a bucket of salt or something. I'm just
it ain't in your yard.
And bless God for it. I'm really sorry for my neighbors, but
yeah, I saw somebody pull up and was like, oh,
yeah. So in the morning, there'll be a slew of cars on my end because they're like, oh, everybody park by Tasha's because it's not going to work out. Yeah, that's bananas. And I need everybody to not drive through puddles. I saw somebody try to navigate it this afternoon, and I was like, no.
What were they in?
A really small car that looked like it could be waterlogged if I sneezed on it.
Okay.
And I was like, no, this is a poor decision.
Yeah. Don't make that decision.
Yeah. You never know what's going on under there.
Or how deep that is.
Yeah.
Come on.
Going on under there. Anything could be under it, how deep it is. And I shared that video recently of how to get out of a car if it's in water. And that I always think of that. I don't drive around a lot of water like that. I don't like bridges though. And so I'm always very cognizant of getting the hell over the bridge. I'm like, y'all better not be in my way.
I know a lot of people who have a fear of bridges, and I find that weird somehow.
I'm okay driving. Walking, I can't do. When we were at the job we were at together, I said to Wendell, I'm going to go and shout out to Wendell, our imaging director. I'm going to go to the post office. And there was one way and there was another way across Harrison. And I said, quit being a punk. You whole 40 years old. You can walk across this bridge. And I went and I got to the bridge. I started. And I said, no, this ain't gonna work. And I'm okay with this phobia. I'm going to move on with my day. And I did not go to the post office. I can't take it. So
really?
I can't.
Bala has a hard time with bridges too. So when we would drive cross country and stuff, like, yeah, he'd be like,
yeah, it's too much. I remember,
I'm like, we're over it.
Yeah. And you can't wait until you get over it. I don't like heights. I don't like bridges. And I remember being with a boyfriend. His family lived in a town called Soso, Mississippi. But he had other relatives in New Orleans. And so we had to cross a bridge. And I don't remember crossing it in the daytime. I just don't.
Really?
But I remember coming back and I was asleep and he kind of woke me up like, hey,
we're going over the Mississippi.
And he wasn't afraid, but he wanted me to be alert with him.
Okay.
And I was like, I could have just stayed asleep.
Just in case you slid off the bridge or something? Like, I don't know.
Maybe he needed the extra prayers. Listen. I was like, why are we doing this? Who designed this? Boo for this.
God did, because the river was there before the bridge.
I was not thrilled. But,
But are you okay with, what else? The ferries? Can you ride a ferry?
Yeah, I did a ferry in New York. Was on a corporate trip, and I wanted to go to the Wu-Tang store. And I had to go to Staten Island. And I called the concierge, and I was like, hey, how you get to Staten Island? I'm trying to go to the Wu-Tang store. And after he finished laughing at me, he told me how to catch the ferry. And the people I met, we were all from... we worked for a title search company, and we were all from different parts of the country. And so we just bonded. And I was like, y'all, I'm going to the Wu-Tang store. They was like, we're going too. Wu-Tang. Like, yes. And I still have and wear my Wu-Tang denim jacket. Shout out to the brothers of the Wu-Tang Clan. Especially met this fine self. I know he married. I ain't trying to start no problems. Woo-wee. But yes, to answer your initial question, because I went left.
It's quite all right.
That's a fine brother. Yes, I can do a ferry. It's strange. I'm a weirdo who is scared of heights, but I want the window seat on the airplane. I can't swim, but I want the balcony suite on the cruise so I can sit and watch the water. Like, yes. Most people in a large body of water like that, they're like, oh my God.
Right.
I'm like, yay, it's so peaceful.
Yeah, it is peaceful.
I love
it's
it.
It's really peaceful to swim in, which you need to learn how to do.
I'm just going to move on.
I encourage all people to learn how to swim.
And I just haven't. Maybe that's something I'll do. Oh, that's a birthday trip. That's just, I can. I'm always looking for something different to do for my birthday. We're still doing Ronald McDonald House and all that fun stuff. But I was like, maybe, yeah, okay.
Learn how to swim.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Cool.
All right, sounds good. So yeah, I was telling you about. It's not about bridges, but it made me think about the car. So 2 years ago, almost not even 2 years ago, my father talked me into a lease of a vehicle, even though I have a perfectly good truck outside. But my daddy's like, well, you live out here in the country, and I just want you to have a newer car. Okay.
It has better gas mileage.
It does. So my position was, well, ain't nothing wrong with my truck, and we can tune it up, and it's been great. Shout out to BMW and the X5. So I said, if you wanted to sponsor, we cool with that. I like the new X7.
I'll take something smaller.
Right. You'd like the X1.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, well, great. So I remember my dad always saying, well, you just don't know what these cars gonna do, because your uncle had a car and it was brand new and they quit on him on the expressway. Well, apparently this happens to the Cloptons, because Sunday before church, I went to visit my parents. As I always do, I've shifted my visit time so that when I get out of church, I can kind of relax instead of running around. So when I pulled off to head to church, the car started to shake. And I was like, and it had a symbol on it that said EPC. And I was like,
EPC?
I didn't know what that meant. I simply pulled over, parked the car, turned it off, turned it back on. It was fine. Like a reboot. No problem. I drive to church. I think nothing else about it. Enjoy service. Come out. Drive. I jump on the expressway at 55th. At 71st, the car was like, hey, let's do the Macarena. Whoa! Now, my car is not 2 years old. So I'm like, we doing the Macarena? Okay. I'm not really into that. So I dial my girlfriend, and I'm like, hey, friend, I'm on the expressway. I'm about to get off so I can take the streets home. Actually, I'm going to take the streets right to the Volkswagen dealership. That's not open, but they have after hours. Right, but they have after hours drop off. Right. I know that because I've done it before, just for an oil change. And she's like, what is going on? I don't know. But so I stopped in the house and, took all the stuff out of the car, put it in my truck. Thank God that I had that. Like, this would have really thrown a monkey wrench in my life if I weren't fortunate enough to have another vehicle. I drop it off, Uber back home, continue my day. And Monday at about noon, it dawned on me that nobody has called me. Hello? Because in the middle of, I said, oh, wait a minute. Hello, people? They were like, oh, we have your car. It's safe and sound. Oh, okay, because y'all ain't say nothing.
Right. Hello?
And so they were like, it's safe and sound. We got to get somebody to look at it. We had a few cars in front of you, which, I chuckled at. I said, yeah, okay. No problem. Because, that happens.
Yeah.
And he called me with a whole minute-long voicemail about the engine computer control that failed and needs to be replaced, and this other piece needs to be replaced, and this third piece needs to be replaced, and it's coming from another state, and there is a service advisory about... Who are you talking to? You talking about this a year and a half old car? This one? So I dial our friend Julia because she bought the same car at the same time. Hey, friend, you heard about this?
Of course you haven't.
I said, hold on, let me forward you the voicemail. She was like, what in the crap? Let me tell y'all something. I am not the one. You guess my parents will not like it if I'm not safe out here. So I just found it hilarious. Like, come on, y'all knew something was coming. Call me before I have to call you.
Right.
And so right at that first appointment, I got an email that was like, we'd like to invite you to be a part of our lease loyalty program. What does that mean? That means we can put you in a new car. You know, I'm being my spokesperson voice. We can put you in basically put me in a new lease for maybe less money and no money down. I was like,
how about you fix the car?
well, I prefer the new
be
one.
broken.
I'm going to inquire, so it must have been on the way. So because a letter came immediately after that, so they probably were in the process of getting ready to say, "Hey, you want to do that?" But my question is always, as a conspiracy theorist, sometimes, why was y'all doing that? Did y'all know something was gonna happen?
Of course they did.
Because I like my car. I do not like the technology package. That's just me and my preferences, and that's probably because I'm spoiled and used to Beamer. But I was like, why I got the plug-in for Apple CarPlay? Why we gotta do all that?
You do?
Right. See what I'm saying?
I don't even have to. I have a Honda.
Exactly. Well, because they want you to use the native VWP. Now, this is on a 2018, so it may not be
mine's
like
a 2015. So
we'll see. Maybe now it's not like that. You know, I'm sure the Audi, which is the same company, I'm sure you ain't got to plug in for that. But I just didn't like it. I was like, this ain't real. And then the radio would just kind of shut off by itself. Well, I'd be like, what's hello?
that was your first indication there was a computer problem.
But I took it in. For the and they couldn't duplicate the issue, which is always the case. And so I said, okay, well, yeah.
It still happened.
So yeah, replace all that ish, cause.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in hearing what they have to say. It was like, your note could be lower. Well, can you apply the notes I prepaid? Because I prepaid.
Oh.
Through next month. So I'm going to inquire and see, like, hey, what y'all doing? Y'all want to talk to me? What we doing? Help.
Hey, maybe we could check it out at the auto show.
Yay! I'm really excited about the auto show. I love the auto show.
I do too.
And I like vehicles. For me, I'm just kind of like, let's see what they got. But I don't understand what's happening under the hood.
I do.
My cousin can understand that, and I'm just staring at her like, yeah.
Yeah, some of it I'm like, what? But if I had Nefera and Eric with me, they'd be like, oh, well, this is what this does. Because they described what happens with CVT transmissions. Exactly. So
did y'all see my eyes gloss over?
Yeah, and I get the concepts of them.
Yeah.
Like, I understand it, but I would never fix it. Like, I leave that up to them. I ain't got to do that.
I told my guy friend today that I'm an incredible girly girl on purpose. And so if there's ever an issue with the car, like I did with my father, I'm just going to hand off the keys and be like, switch. I ain't got time to figure it out. I'm just trying to go where I'm going. Beauty shop.
Oh, I'll try to figure it out.
I don't care.
I care.
I need it to work.
Yeah. Well,
and if mine ain't working, I'm going to take yours and then you figure it out because I'm going to go.
Yeah. See, I used to be able to change things on older cars, but newer cars and
everything's so computerized.
Yeah. Eric's got this like fancy smancy computer thing that hooks up to your car.
Ooh, and diagnoses it.
Yeah, and also can fix things. I know, it's crazy.
Engineering miracles.
Yes, and it's like Wi-Fi. You don't have to actually plug it in. It will talk to your car. It's crazy.
That's a little frightening. Now I feel like the Decepticons are coming out of nowhere. I don't know how to.
They're coming.
See what I'm saying? Go to the show. Oh my God. There's a meme on Facebook that says somebody cracked a joke and he was like, I laughed, my wife laughed, the toaster laughed, so I shot it.
Yeah.
What?
Why does your toaster need to connect it to Wi-Fi?
Exactly. That was the point. It was a Decepticon.
Yeah.
When I see too many trucks, my friends who are truckers laugh at me. When I see too many trucks in a formation, typically when I'm on my way to work and you see them all going, I'm like, are these the Autobots? Or
is that Optimus Prime?
Right. And so I had him all wrong. He's oh God, I forgot what kind of truck he is. But I had him as something else, and they were like, that's not Optimus. That's the wrong brand. And I was like, oh.
Was it a Freightliner or a Mack?
You see what I'm saying? I was messing up.
A Volvo.
I don't know what
Actually, Volvos are very quiet.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's weird.
I have friends who are truckers.
My ex-husband was one for a while.
Okay.
So I know a little bit about everything.
You do.
It's really weird.
It's not. Like, you should be on Jeopardy today.
Yeah, but there's no question on Jeopardy that is actually...
Well, they give you a study guide, is my understanding.
Really?
I think. I might have made that up.
I think you might have.
In my head, it was a study guide. Maybe I was watching, what was that movie, White Men Can't Jump? I swear I feel like Rosie Perez was studying something. That may or may not have been an accurate depiction of the preparation needed for Jeopardy. I'm just saying, that's how I took it and internalized it, obviously.
Maybe she was just studying random facts?
Yeah, what you said. Yeah, I'd have been lost. Now, I love to play me and Daddy. Anytime I can get to his house by 3:30, we turn it on. I love it. But if they hit me with an area I don't know, I just be like, I'm gonna go get some popcorn. You want some popcorn?
Yeah. And some that there are categories that I know that I'm like, how
Why
does
do I know
anyone
that?
Right? Like where did this knowledge just drop out of?
Ain't no telling.
Right.
Fell out of the sky.
Here you go, Dana.
Right. But it's like that sometimes. You're
Yeah.
like, why do I know that? Or sometimes there's a question and you're like, hey, I think I do know that. And then I guess right as they're guessing.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Look at me, I'm smart.
Mostly smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made some dumb moves this week. I was sick. I was out with, like I said, my guy friend, and we thought it was appropriate to stay up until 4 a.m.
Sometimes it is appropriate.
It was not. I had to get up at 6. Now, we had a good time talking and laughing. But when I tell you I was delirious the next day, I was like, I don't know. I had a big cup of coffee. There's a coffee maker in my classroom.
Really? You can have coffee makers in your classroom?
I got a little small mini. It's not a Keurig. It's the Mr. Coffee brand. But the point is, it's one of those in there.
Oh.
And I'm like, good night. Because somebody dropped our Keurig in the teacher lounge.
Rude.
I know. How you drop a whole Keurig?
Right. What were you doing? Were you cleaning it? Why were you touching it? All you have to do is pop the thing in and call it a day.
Maybe they were moving the table. I'm not sure. But the point is, I ain't got time to need my coffee when I need it. And so I have a whole little cafe station with my little teas lined up and everything. And so my kids, can you make us some coffee? So like for
Your kids are in 8th grade.
yeah, and I just laugh at them and walk off because absolutely not. But for Christmas, we shot a remix of the 12 Days of Christmas. And we had to pick a day. And I said, what do you guys want it to be? They was like, day 4. And I was like, okay, what do you want it to be? They'd be like, ooh. So we did on the 4th day of Christmas, Miss Clapton gave to me 4 cups of coffee. And it's hilarious. So we had a carafe and I'm pouring and we're dancing. It was really cute. And they're like, so can we have some coffee for real? No.
It'll stunt your growth.
And I can't feed you like that. Like, not without your parents' permission. What's wrong with
And
you?
you'll be all crazy, and I don't need that in my classroom. It'd be a next level crazy.
And then they'd be up for weeks. Like,
Right.
your little bodies can't tolerate that.
Although Nefera did start drinking coffee, unbeknownst to me, of course, at a very early age.
Like, how old?
She was probably in junior high.
Really?
Yeah. And she drinks it black. I know, just like my dad.
I can't drink black today.
Yeah, she's. I'm like, bleh. Like, I don't even like coffee. I don't drink coffee. I like the smell of like gourmet coffees, but I won't drink them because they still taste like burnt toast with some kind of flavoring on top of it.
That's funny.
So
no argument here.
That's what it tastes like to me.
No, my daddy likes, he can do black coffee or he can do just cream. I'm like,
my dad used to drink like coffee that sat all day and was not only black but just tar, like Guinness almost. It was so thick. I'm like, Dad,
no pop. That's too much.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we are coffee connoisseurs a little bit. We just need our morning cups. And at Christmas, we would all bring something. My cousin would be in charge of bringing coffee, and she would be routinely late. And my uncle would be like, "We can't eat if you don't bring the coffee. So, I mean, what's taking you so long to bring it? Now we sitting here." And I'm like, "You can't bring the coffee next year. You need to bring like some toast or something that's
something we don't need,
right? Because Uncle gonna beat you up." And I'm be like, I ain't in that. That's a little bit too much. So I just like mine with flavored cream, no sugar, because there's sugar in the cream. I'm getting better because it used to be cream and flavored cream and sugar.
Flavored sugar.
I'm like, thank you. Pretty much. So yeah, I'm eating better.
Good.
Yeah, that's important. And drinking more water.
Very good. Although you haven't cracked that one open.
No. But I'm hungry, and so I can't have, unlike most people, I can't have water on an empty stomach. I'll give it back. That's not what the viewers
really. Because you should actually, when you wake up in the morning, drink 32 ounces of water before you eat anything.
You were telling me that, but my body would be like,
that's weird.
It's very weird, and it didn't start until I was like 25.
Really?
I had.
You know what's even weirder? So my godfather got sick. He was in the hospital with some kind of lung fungus, something. I don't know. They couldn't figure it out for the longest time, but we thought it was pneumonia. But it wasn't. And so now that he's back home, he's on oxygen, and he can't drink water without thickening in it.
Really? So it's too thin for his system.
Yeah.
That's strange.
I know. He's like, this is the weirdest thing. I can't drink water. That just seems wrong. I'm like, it is wrong.
And so how do you thicken water?
Well, there's like a thickening agent you can buy at like Walgreens or something.
Does it have a taste though?
I didn't drink it.
I need you to inquire and find out and report back to us next week.
So I was like, because any beverage, he had to have it thickened.
Wow. Yeah, his body can't tolerate.
Because he would have aspirated, which...
That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, certainly we don't want that. Boo.
Oh, but I'm like, that's just weird. Like, weird. Water, your body's made of water. Why
2/3
can't you?
Wow.
Water. I know. It's really strange.
Okay, well, I'm glad he's better.
Yeah, he's getting better. He's actually, they're talking about taking him off the oxygen tank, so he's doing good.
Good.
Yeah.
I love it. It's positive.
Yeah, very positive.
Speaking of positivity.
So we're trying to figure out for this year, because I like to do things by the year.
Okay. I'm with it.
Well, because I started Post Positive. That was for a year.
Yeah.
And then I brought it back. Bringing it back.
Bringing sexy back? Oh, okay.
No, bringing positivity back.
Hey.
But I'm trying to figure out what this year should be. But it's definitely something based off positivity.
Sure.
But I want it to be positive towards oneself.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's starting meditation or doing positive affirmations for yourself, like Jack Handy, or not Jack Handy. What was his name? Stuart Smalley from SNL. He didn't watch SNL. Anyway.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not up that late. If I'm up that late, I'm doing something else.
Well, this was from like the 80s, and he would say
way worse.
Yeah, he would say things like, "You're good enough, you're smart enough, and doggone it, people like you."
Okay,
at the end of his skit. So yeah,
I remember. Okay,
something
I
like
do remember that. Or just self-love of any kind. Like yesterday, I posted because I was really feeling it. Like I came in and my mind was like, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. I had a list, and then I literally said to myself, and I typed it out in my notes and screenshotted it. Said, "Self, it's okay to just come in and ignore your task list. Just sit."
Yep.
So I just laid down, caught myself going watch TV at 6 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, I awakened to a slew of missed messages. It was fine. Nobody was, hurt or injured or needed me in any intense way, but my body was like, hey, good night.
Yeah.
And so it was fine. And so I stayed up till about 2, and then I would sleep again. And so sometimes it's just that is listening to your body. That's positive.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if we should do it weekly for the show, or if we should do it like that's a daily thing you want to do, or I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Definitely consistency. I say weekly, and if we do bonuses in between the week, great.
Yeah. Okay.
I like it. Go, Dana. You are thinking. Not that you don't normally. I'm just saying.
I don't think.
You do think. And I think you're special. What'd you say? And doggone it, people love you.
People like me.
I love it. So I think that's a good ending. I like it. I like it. So from the studios of TLC Talk Radio, it's DT on Our Minds. I'm your girl, Tasha.
And I'm that fat girl, Dana.
And of course, don't forget to catch us on our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and every day on TLCTalkRadio.com. 24/7 edutainment. We shall catch you next week.
Peace.